One sec. Come on, come on. Hello guys, it's Brian and Keem. Today is April 1st, and welcome to the final stream for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, or at least, for the stream for the series finale. So, yeah, guys, I'm joined here by Nick Wild, or I guess Zombie Killer, whichever one. But yeah, man. So yeah. How's it going? Were you a fan of this episode? Oh, go ahead.
I was not. I had a lot of problems with it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people had problems with it. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, please ask me in the chat. I will try to do. I will try to go for 2 hours for this one. I can't promise it, but I will try. All right. So, oh yeah, guys, by the way, anyone listening, remember the rules, let everyone talk, and try not to interrupt anyone. Let's see. I think Rick has joined us. Hey, Rick.
Thank you. What's up, Brian?
Good, good. A little tired. Work was exhausting, but yeah, man, I'm good for the most part. And yeah, man, The Ones Who Live is finally over.
I know, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah?
Like me personally, I just didn't like the fact that General Beale was so underutilized in this season. Like he did nothing in this season, and then he just died so freaking quickly.
Well, yeah. I mean, what were you expecting, Nick? Were you expecting to get Lex? Were you expecting like death from Puss in Boots or Thanos from from Infinity War Endgame? Like, what kind of villain were you expecting? Like, were you expecting a great villain? Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not what World Beyond hyped him up to be, you know?
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not. And to be fair, Dan had a good point with this. Dan said that when they were creating General Beale back in World Beyond, they didn't know how old he was actually going to be. Like, you know what I mean? They probably imagined someone in his 40s or 50s, but then, because Mason is his son. So, but then, they casted Terry O'Quinn and they liked him so much that they're like, you know what, let's just make him General Beale. But then it's like, wait, what about his son? And it's like, oh, well, let's not mention his son at all for some reason in the show. But before anyone thinks I'm too negative, I actually did enjoy this episode, and here's why. Because it is exactly what I thought they were going to do, and they did end the CRM. Even though it was badly done and rushed, they ended the CRM, which in my opinion is way better than them stretching it out further. Here's why. Because as we all know, Dead City is 5-6 years in the future. So you can't have that CRM plotline just keep on going. You just can't. So this, in my opinion, was the lesser of the two evils. Even though it makes the CRM look weak. Because let's be honest, come on. Seriously, General Beale is a senile old man. Like, that's about as weak and pathetic as you can get. I'm sorry. Like, nothing against Terry O'Quinn. I'm talking about General Beale. Like, yeah. I mean, come on. Hey, Brian, do you think
the thing is... Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Josh asked, do you think this was rushed? It was rushed, but it was not terrible. It was rushed, though. Do you think the finale makes World Beyond pointless now? Yeah, it does. I do hate that. Yeah, we'll get into that, Josh, but yeah, I don't get what they were doing with World Beyond now, because, I don't know, it just makes sense. Oh, hey, Chosen.
Hey.
Hey, man. Good to hear from you. It's been a while. What did you think of this episode? Did you think that this delivered the finale? Do you think it delivered, or do you think they could have done more? Were you disappointed with General Beale, the reunion, anything? Were you yeah, like, just, I want to hear your feedback, because I haven't heard from you in a long time, so, yeah, what do you think?
I don't have time to go into the specifics, but I wasn't really a big fan. I think it was all rushed.
Yeah, I agree. It was rushed, but I do think it's better for it to be rushed than like, you know what I mean, stretch it out for another 6 years. World. Oh, hey, Dan says World Beyond was pointless. That's why I never liked the show. LOL. Well, Dan, like, I thought, you know, the World Beyond, they said it was to set up the Rick movies, and then they changed it to the show. But then it's like, wait a minute. Like, has anyone realized this? Like, what Rick and Michonne did, stopping the CRM from blowing up, like, they literally did the exact same thing as World Beyond. They blew up the chlorine gas. The only difference is, to protect Portland, like, they literally did the same thing as the kids in World Beyond, except they killed General Beale and his frontiers. That is the only difference, really, which is crazy. Hey, Brian, why are you ignoring me? Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
No, like I was just gonna say, like, I also didn't buy, like, it didn't make sense to me that Rick and Michonne were like right near the blast zone where the bombs went off. Yet you have soldiers hundreds of feet away, they all get wiped out, yet Rick and Michonne survive.
That's a good point. The way I look at it is Rick and Michonne were behind a shipping container, and when the gas blew up, it went around them, but it didn't go through the shipping container, like, and kill them with the blast. That is how I envision it. So, you know, in terms of realism, like, they were yeah, go ahead.
And another thing that doesn't make sense is how the hell did Thorne survive that?
I don't know. I guess she was also behind the shipping container grabbing a gas mask. I don't know. That's the way I envisioned it, but I'll admit it was a little sloppy. But as far as the realism in that, I can kind of suspend disbelief a little bit, because I'm like, okay, they were behind a shipping container. Hey Matt, thanks for coming. Thank God World Beyond. How could you guys hate World Beyond? It was so good. It was so good. Rick and Michonne were like, hey, let's do exactly what the World Beyond kids did. Save Portland, blow up the chlorine gas. But this time we're going to do it, you know, more than what they did. Okay, Wasteland, I'm not ignoring you, but you can't just demand, or you can't just ask me like a bunch of times, hey, can we do a stream together? Like, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta work for it. Like, you know what I mean? You got to, you know, you have to respect me, respect everyone here, and I have to take time into consideration. Like, I can't just do a stream with you, like, you know what I mean, co-hosting. Like, you have to join my Discord. There's a lot of things with it. No Silas, Rick lives and got a reunion. I'm happy. Awesome, Dan. Hey, quick question, Dan. Will you still be happy when Mason Beale comes after Rick? Sebastian Milton style, because, oh my goodness, if we don't find out Rick's fate, like, if we never see Rick again and he's never mentioned in the Walking Dead universe again, then then in my headcanon, Mason Beale kills him. Like, I know it's crazy, but, like, I see it so much. Like, the fact that...
No.
I
gotta
see
leave
it.
that shit alone. They gotta leave it alone. Don't have this kid come after him. Screw that.
Dude, I see it. I see it so much. If the show really didn't want Mason Beale to kill Rick, they should have had Mason die in the show or something. But they left Mason Beale alive. So it's like, ooh, that's, they left it open, you know?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
Like, the one moment I did like in this episode was Rick reuniting with Judith. I mean, I called it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought, as far as, I didn't know if it was going to happen, but I did think, like, I'm like, no, you have to have Rick and Michonne reunite with their kids. Just their kids, not Daryl, not Ezekiel, not Negan, not Maggie, like, no one else, just the kids. In my opinion, I'm like, that's what you have to do. By the way, guys, there's at least, like, 6 or so people on, my stream now, and I'm only seeing 1 like, so if you guys can, like, please give me a like, for the stream, because it is going to be my last one for a while. Okay, Wasteland, Wasteland, I get you're joking, but come on, man, be serious, okay? Um,
But like the funny thing to me, Brian, is again RJ. His acting was so stiff.
yeah, RJ's acting. Wait, he was acting? You can call that acting?
Well, actually, that I do kind of find it messed up that some people are going against his acting. Like, I could see that maybe it was kind of a little bad, but he is just a kid. I just don't think they want to replace him though.
Well, yeah.
That's why.
Here's what I'm saying. Going after? No. I'm not going after. Now,
No, I'm not saying
yeah,
you. I'm not saying you. It's
yeah.
there's people actually like going against his acting. Like it was actually pretty bad. That's actually trending on Twitter.
Okay,
But
well,
yeah, I'm not saying you.
Yeah. Well, as far as here on my channel, I'll say it. His acting is trash. It is. And I get it. He's a kid, but here's the thing though. Chandler Riggs was 11 when he in season 1 when he was playing Carl. Like, and his acting was great in season 1. So I'm sorry. There's no excuse because Anthony, the actor for RJ, he's about the same like age. So in my opinion, there's no excuse. I get not recasting him, but still, like, his acting is just really bad. And I get to say his acting is bad because I'm a customer. I paid for AMC Plus. I paid for this show. I have a right to say an actor. He's an actor. This is his job. I'm sorry, but I have to be firm with this kid. His acting is bad. But I get it. I get it. I'm not going after him or Twitter and all that, but I am saying as a customer, his acting is bad.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I did find it a little odd when he said "I believe." It just didn't feel right. But
it wasn't because when I saw that, I'm like, RJ, what are you talking about? You didn't believe nothing. The only thing you were doing in season 11 was reading your Invincible comic. Like, that's all you did in season 11. Like, I'm just like, RJ, what are you talking about, man? Let's see. What else? I wish. Yeah, did you like Thorne's death? Thorne's death was okay. I just thought the end part was weird. Like, did they actually leave Thorne to be eaten alive? Like, did you guys notice that? Like, I'm like, dang, I didn't like Thorne, but I'm like, dang, like, they established that Rick and her had this friendship, and it's like, he just left her to be eaten alive. So,
he kind of saw her like she was like too far gone because she started believing everything in the CRM and going against what Okafor was doing for her and Rick.
Yeah.
And sorry.
That's okay. Let's see. I didn't like the show too. Yes, see, that's what I'm talking about, man. I didn't like the show too. Episode 4 were the only good ones and called good. RJ is cringe. Yeah. Wait, why was that retracted? Dragon Ball, what were you trying to say? Why was that retracted? How can I get in your chats, Brian? No links anywhere. Well, you need to respect my rules, and then you get a link to my Discord. That's kind of how things work. Thank goodness for Judith. We have someone here from the kids that can actually act. Yeah, that's true, Dan. Judith was great, though. And it's just so crazy. Judith here is 11 years old? I believe this takes place right after Daryl, left. Or, no, sorry. It takes place, maybe 6 months after. Maybe, but you get
All he had to do was wait. All he had to do was wait, and he didn't have to end up in France.
Let's see. I think they fumbled Thorne's character. Would have been interesting conflict between Rick and Darrell. Yeah, we only got Rick and Thorne for 3 episodes, and then it's just oh, that's it. It's over. I don't know. I didn't feel for those two characters, a relationship or whatever. Okay, so moving on with the episode, we get Rick and Thorne talking, and that's okay. But I'm sorry. I like Terry O'Quinn as an actor, but he is just a terrible General Beale for multiple reasons. One is, I don't like certain lines where he's like, I never had to do this before. I never had to do consigning because I was never a citizen or whatever. It's well, yeah, of course not, dude. You were literally put in charge 12 years ago when the CRM was started. Of course you didn't have to do consigning. I don't know, lines like that, I guess what I'm trying to say is that when General Beale says things, I'm kind of what? But here's what I'll say. The acting was great. Getting Judith and RJ to come back, great. The fact that they wrapped up the CRM, even though it was rushed, I think it was the better option. was great. The reunion was great. The fighting, zombies, the gas explosion, all great. You know what I mean? So, like, there are pros with this episode. I do have serious pros with this episode. And even the fact, some people don't like it, but Rick hesitating when going to his kids, I like that. Because Rick doesn't recognize his kids anymore. Like, and that's a realistic thing that happens to parents, you know?
Well, the last time he saw Judith, it was like really small, and he's never met RJ, so it'd be kind of awkward for him to run up and hug them the way Michonne did.
Right.
So he kind of just waited a bit.
Exactly. Let's see. I think they fumbled Thorne's character. Could have done. Oh, I already read that. What do you think of Game of Thrones? What do you think of Game of Thrones deaf? I don't know what you're talking about, Wasteland. Who's deaf in Game of Thrones? Chandler Riggs already had experience, though. This is the only role so far that I know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's get back to the episode, Brian. My stream now. No April Fools. I got you. Okay, seriously, Wasteland. Okay, and. Enough, okay? Chill out. I'm serious. Okay? The Judith actor has already been in multiple things, so you can't really compare that. Yeah, but like I said, Chandler Riggs. Well, here's the thing though. RJ has been acting for since he's been on the show since 2018, and that was 6 years ago. So yeah, I'm sorry, doesn't really have an excuse now. I'm just saying he should at least try a little bit, just a little bit, you know? He doesn't have to be great, but just a little bit. Hey, Walker Dead Phoenix. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Brian.
Hold on, man. Let's greet Walker Dead. You there, man?
Oh.
Hey, man.
Stupid microphone. Hey, sorry if I was a few minutes late. I was eating dinner, but I'm here now.
Yeah, no worries, man. So yeah, I said it before and I'll say it again. Okay. All right. So I said it before and I'll say it again. I enjoyed this episode. I did have some problems with it, mostly Beale and RJ's and RJ. Some plot armor problems, but I overlooked those. And I enjoyed the reunions, the explosion, the action, and they wrapped up the CRM. So yeah.
Hey, Walker Dead.
Yeah.
So me personally, I'm really hoping that you do General Beale way better than AMC did.
Yeah, that there is that possibility. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I did enjoy. There are some parts. There are some parts of the episode I did enjoy, but to me, I feel like this is the perfect ending for not just Rick's character, but for AMC's Walking Dead TV show universe as a whole. Because if you think about it, what's really left now? I mean, think about it. The CRM just got defeated. General Beale just died within AMC's Walking Dead universe. So if you really think about it, what's left? What's left? Negan and Maggie in New York City, Daryl being in France, won the world.
Yeah, man, Daryl getting French fries and, Nagy in New York, that's what's left for the Walking Dead franchise. Man, aren't you excited? We just saw the end of Rick Grimes. We just saw the end of Rick Grimes in the CRM as a threat in the main AMC universe. So it's like, man, don't you want to see don't you want to see the B team, I guess? As far as spin-offs.
And Brian, I don't mean to call you out, but me personally, at least Alexander is now saved.
Yeah, it is. It is. It just I did think it was gonna get okay. I was 50-50 on it getting bombed, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that I thought they were gonna do that. Possibly, but they didn't, which I kind of, okay. Yeah, moving on. I gotta read the chat. This is the end of Rick, I think, although he may show up in the Daryl show. Well, then, Dan, it's not the end of Rick now, is it? But yeah, I get what you're saying. That would be so funny. Daryl comes back in from France, and Rick is just there. And Daryl's just like, man, I shouldn't have left. I shouldn't have left that Commonwealth all those months ago.
Right.
Thorne is probably not dead. We never see her die. She's dead, Dragon Ball. She's dead. What choice do they have? She was injured. No, I mean, I don't know, Rick, did he not have a gun or something? I'm just like, dang, couldn't have like, I don't know, shot her in the head or something. I don't know. Just that like that. It wasn't a big deal. I'm just saying that like, I don't know. I felt like that was weird. This wasn't a bad episode. Hold on. It was a bad episode. Loch Lesser, two people easily take out the elite soldiers, as if they are dumb Commonwealth soldiers. They survive the initial blast. Rick survives point blank frag grenade. Yeah, that's true. Rick survived the grenade. That's just crazy. Why are we talking about reboot version? He was just mentioning it, and to be fair, I allow him to because Walker Dead. I actually went on Earth Media stream last night, and I did mention your reboot series to him just a little bit. I said that you're gonna have a CRM Infinity War Endgame. Unlike AMC. I did let him know that real quick. I stayed for the stream for about 10 or so minutes, and then I had to leave. But yeah.
Okay.
So,
what do you have to say about it? I'm just curious.
yeah, he said that he knew about it, and he said that he remembers you telling him about that. Other than that, I don't remember much else. But I think it was something like, seeing a Commonwealth Endgame, would have been cool. And I think he said like he doesn't know what AMC is gonna do now. There he is now. Shook, make the Endgame happen. Let's go. Yeah. Thank you for coming, Shook. Yeah, because. Like I said, thank you so much for coming because I enjoyed your stream last night, and also, man, like I said, as much as I said before, and I'll say it again, as much as we wanted a Walking Dead, Avengers, Endgame, Infinity War, I knew it was never going to happen. Because I told you guys, I said there's too many, there will be too many actors and actresses in one show. The AMC can never pull it off. They can't pull off an Endgame. It's just too expensive. She tried to kill them. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's see. Dorn passes the opportunity to kill Michonne because she wants to have a classic villain monologue instead of shooting her, contradicting her actions prior to the episode. Yeah, Chosen. That's because I even watched some other guys' review. Thorn is a B. She is a B. She was never an A. Okafor was so wrong. Hey, Brian, tell Walker Dead I hope he does the CRM justice. I know his CRM will be way better than the Cruddy AMC version. Well, he knows that now, so thank you.
I appreciate that, Wasteland, and look on the bright side, guys. I mean, it's funny because I forgot who it was. It was like some random person. It was some random user that came at me, said like, "Oh, what's the whole point of this reboot?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Well," now people have no right to be complaining about it because think about this for a minute. General Abil, and I hate to bring this up, but General Abil in AMC's Walking Dead universe, right? Like in their version, right? Got killed by Rick, and then we see him as a walker. And then Rick and Michonne blow up the whole CRM, killing hundreds, and I mean hundreds of soldiers, mind you. And I'm like, that's so rushed. If I was doing it, I wouldn't do it. But look at the bright side, guys. There's something better in store. There's something better coming, and I just hope you guys stick around to see it because I will admit this: the CRM should have been done a little bit more better, and it unfortunately wasn't. You know, I mean, Brian mentioned this to me before. I'm like, yeah, they could have mentioned General Bill's son, but they didn't, and I'm like, why not? Yeah. Also, they could have showed Heath as a walker. I'm like, dude, come on, this is supposed to be it for Rick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick, real quick, and then I have to read the chat.
Like, that's another thing that I just didn't like about the episode is the fact that episode 5 made it seem like taking down Beale and the CRM was going to be so tough. But in this episode, it's just so freaking easy.
Well, Nick, you're forgetting the power of love, man. Nothing could stop the power of love. Except Negan in season 7. He destroyed the power of love in that premiere twice. So,
true.
Yeah. So, oh man. Yeah. We don't talk about that. Let's see. Yo, what's good? Another thing, you wouldn't be nervous if you were meeting your father for the first time. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, RJ could have been a little bit better there. To me, it's sort of excusable. Well, not to me. Yeah, we're still talking about the episode. I strongly suggest checking the reboot series because you can see the governor. Oh no, let's not. We don't talk about that. Actually, saying perfectly valid. I just disagree. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We can disagree with each other. That's fine. As long as we respect each other's opinions. Like Dan and Megamat say, World Beyond is trash, and as much as not hate, as much as I dislike, them talking trash about it, I respect their opinion. Like because they have a right to their opinion, Because I'm like, man, World Beyond was so good, and then, I thought it was gonna matter, and it's like, no, it didn't, and I'm like, dang, I was hoping it would matter. I hope we get a real endgame at some point, and maybe a season 2. I don't think we're gonna get one, Matt. I don't think we're gonna get an endgame or season 2 because there's nothing left. You know what I mean? Thorn in our side. Yeah, exactly, Dan. Thorn is a thorn. Reboot, yes, let's see, appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of opportunity for a rewrite there. Yeah, it is. The endgame thing, just made too much sense. Of course they won't. Yeah, they can't afford it, Shook. I think it's, wait, where is, oh, thank you, DeRosa. Glad you came. It just feels like the franchise lost so much direction without the CRM plotline. Yeah, I agree. I'm confused. Are we talking about the episode or reboot series? We're talking about the episode. They were just mentioning a little bit. Reboot series needs its own stream. My gosh, CRM is going to be way better than the reboot. Let's see. I agree, Shook. Really hoping there can be an endgame at some point. So true, the CRM was way too easy to take down in the finale. Man, the power of love, Shook. You cannot fight the power of love. The Thorn died. We never saw her. She died. You guys was streaming. Okay, you know what, guys? All right. Brian always crazy enough with it. I'm excited to see how Walker Dead does this justice in his reboot series. Oh, thank you, Dan. Dan said he's excited to see how you do justice with the CRM. I guess.
Well, I mean, heck, if you guys are all excited in the stream, like Sugar, Dan, like if you all are excited, I can't wait for you guys to see what I got planned because, I got like an 8 more. Like, expect my Walking Dead reboot universe to go on for another 8 years. So,
yeah,
I know that's a long time. I know that's a lot of years. I know people are going to be. I know some people are like, "Oh my god, that's too much." I'm like, well, if that's how it's got to be, then so be it. I would rather take my time than to rush. And that's just my honest opinion. Because, to be fair here, guys, look at what we got with the CRM in like the final episode of The Ones Who Live. They got taken down way too easy. And I'm like, well, to be fair, if it was like Dominic Purcell as General Abiel, yeah, Rick could have been screwed.
more like
that's
more
a
like
fact.
more like would have been. More like would have been.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So all right. So moving on from the reboot stuff. To watch the more Beyond reviews. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Good season. It's just very rushed. So we're talking about how not one person walked in the tent where Rick and Michonne were setting up the grenades. I have a theory to explain that plot hole to Rosa, but it's a spoiler. So I can't say it now, unfortunately. But I have a theory that I want to cook up for that. We see that most of the people are watching the presentation, so it makes sense that they wouldn't come into the tent. Right, but then again, like, you think there would be some people guarding it. Thank you, DeRosa, I appreciate that. I'm a fan of the channel. Well, that's cool. You guys know each other. Hey, man, love your content as well. I did not know that, Dan. I did not know you and Shook were, friends. I didn't know that. Okay, so, guys, moving on. Okay, so what can I say about this? Like I said, I did like the whole Rick and Michonne dressed up into the CRM, and I did like how, when she gets inside, she gets into, Jadis's room, and I like the consistency with the arts. Like, Jadis has all this art stuff, and Michonne is looking for the paper. Rick talks to General Beale, which, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. The fact that General Beale has no guards next to him is just kind of crazy. Can you imagine if Rick just assassinated General Beale right here? Right here in the woods. Can you imagine if he assassinated Beale there? It's like,
Hey, Brian.
yeah, go ahead.
Like me personally, that was one scene that was a little weird. How Michonne pulled that piece of paper out of that metal cat's ass.
I don't know, Jadis. Well, Jadis is weird. We know she's weird. It's a thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little disturbing, but then again, I mean, to be fair, with TV show Jadis, she was a little weird, so it kind of makes sense in a way. So yeah,
she's always been weird.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to, Wasteland. You haven't given me a reasonable question or response. So, yeah. Just give me a question that is about the show and something I can, answer. Let's see,
Hey,
Dan.
Brian.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Oh, this is our first meeting. Oh, that's cool. Rick really carried Beale's body from his office and dumped it in a crate without anyone noticing. Apparently, General Beale doesn't have any guards around him. We need Dan to be the next Chris Hardwick. Yeah, I wonder what happened to him, man. Did he get Heath traded or something? Hanging back to save Thorne, nearly got them killed. Rick had to clear up space just. They can escape. They still barely made out. Thanks to all the next Talking Dead hosts. Not a lie. Yeah, I agree. Not saving her, but listen to what she had to say. Nearly had the walkers close in on them. I guess. Okay, so, okay, guys, hold on. So, go ahead, Nick. You wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to say that, Beale and Rick were talking. I did find it interesting. I found it interesting how Rick mentioned Carl, and Rick mentioned, he's the person that I bit the dude's throat out for, but Beale mentions you couldn't save him in the end.
Yeah, I like that too. But then Rick said, I didn't lose my son, I lost myself. Where I'm like, no, Rick, you did lose Carl. Like, you legit did. Because you tried to, let Sadiq die, a man who did nothing to you and, wasn't a threat. You tried to let him die. Starving man dying of thirst, not a threat. And, Carl paid the price for it. Like, no offense, but that did happen, let's have this, let's see how to work this. Brian, let's have a stream, the two of us, on your channel, Wasteland, or mine? We never learned what PPP means. DeRosa, it means that. It means PPP. That's what it means. Go to the bathroom, that's important.
Like period, pie, period? Like something weird like that?
No, literally PPP, as in go to the bathroom. That's what it means.
That's funny. No, that's funny.
Are we at a time crush? Hold on, we're at a time crush. Let's get back to the episode. We are talking about the episode, Wasteland. It's just that I have to juggle the guys talking to me and read the chat and go through the episode. So, you have to be patient. You have to be patient, man. Go ahead, Nick.
And another thing that made no sense to me is, why were those chlorine bombs unattended? Why wasn't anyone watching them? Why wasn't anyone patrolling that? It didn't make sense to me. That whole area was just that the chlorine bombs were just out in the open, so that Rick Michonne could plant a trap that no one noticed in.
I actually know why, Nick, but like I said, man, and to everyone here, I can't tell you guys because it's a spoiler. It's gonna be I will say this, it's gonna be a plot twist. I'll say that. But I can't, like I said, I can't say it because it's spoilers. Let's see, what does that mean? It means exactly what it means, Dan. Heath is never happening, we need to let it go. Yes, I agree, Shook. We gotta let it go. Heath is dead. Corey Hawkins was disloyal to the show, and he got greedy, thought he could do better than AMC and Walking Dead, and nope, he couldn't. All right, so I did like General Beale and Rick talking, but yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, wow, did nobody pat Rick down? Like, he comes in the General's office with weapons, and it's just so crazy. But I did like the discussion. I like Rick's new murder jacket. I like The whole prosthetic thing. I like how Beale was talking. Like, all of this was good, in my opinion. We get the backstory, the echelon briefing, which, by the way, did I not call it, guys? Did I not call it? The echelon briefing, people said, was it the cure? Was it, and actually, Dan actually thought maybe it was General Beale having knowledge of how the apocalypse started. Which, to be fair, I thought was possible, partially, because Gimple said that this will change the Walking Dead universe forever. And we learned it's the extinction plan, which I suggested, because we learned that in World Beyond. Like, I'm just like, wow, the revelation, the biggest plot twist in the Walking Dead universe. It's something we learned in what Dan and Megamat say is the worst spin-off ever. Like, to me, that didn't bother me, but I have to point it out. I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Like, you did kind of call it. I'm not gonna lie, not to cut nobody off. You did kind of call it, Bri, and I congratulate you for that. And yeah, you called it. And the fact that it was in like World Beyond, which is now pointless, it kind of pisses me off because it's like, well, the only thing that mattered from World Beyond was the fall of, Portland and that whole thing they did with the bombing of the location. I forgot the name of, but that was pretty much it. Everything else didn't matter. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. Then what was the whole point of the spinoff?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
Like me personally, I disagree with Dan and Megman. World Beyond is not the worst spinoff. To me, it's Fear.
Yeah. Shook, about your question, I don't know, maybe that will be revealed in my show. Oh no, I said too much. Okay.
No.
Dan, actually, if the message is that he just went for a pee, hey guys, if, no big, but if there's background noise, please mute, just please mute yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, biggest plot twist in the franchise. Yeah. Hey, Brian, enough of the rant. Let's get back to the episode. Okay. Okay. Alright, fine. I will admit, we should have gotten a Heath cameo. Imagine if Rick, towards the end of the episode, discovers Heath as a walker that we never got. Heath was just so unimportant. RJ, the go. Oh, okay. I think they backed off the World Beyond because of the poor reception. That's sad, Shook, because I loved it, man. We never got the Queen Iris coming to save the world from the CRM. They established it was going to be Iris that saves the world from the CRM, but no, it was Rick. Dang it, man. Dang it.
Right.
Let's see. Fear the Walking Dead season 7 and 8 Tales worse than World Beyond. Yeah, I agree, Shook. Fear, in my opinion, all of Fear is worse than World Beyond, and Tales definitely. And okay, yeah. So getting back to the episode, Michonne finds the bunny, which. Fun fact, obviously I knew it was like the teddy bear girl or whatever, like I thought it was a callback, but she gives it back to the soldier, and we actually see what they're used for. Like, imagine that, the CRM is going to kidnap these kids in Portland, and they're gonna gas up, kill their parents, their grandparents, all of them. Like, I assume they're kidnapping kids like under 10 or something like that, like, and they're gonna kidnap these kids, and then give them bunnies, and say, hey, don't worry, you're gonna be okay. And they're probably going to take them to that facility we talked about, Walker Dead, where they're going to train them to be brainwashed soldiers and scientists that like are loyal and to the CRM. And it's like, oh man, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like,
right,
like that's just crazy. Not bad.
It's funny. Not to interrupt. I was just gonna say. Like, it's funny because I have an idea for something like that in my Walking Dead reboot universe, where it's revealed that, yeah, people are going missing, but the twist is when they go missing, they go to this like facility, but in that facility you get like put to the test, and if you like fail like every test, the response is they'll either kill you or they'll brainwash you. That's the idea. One of the ideas I had. I'm like, that's perfect because it shows how dangerous a group like that can be.
Yeah, I agree. I can't wait for it.
Hey,
Um,
Brian.
Yeah.
uh, let's see. Oh, hold on one sec. RJ looks like he's 27 now. Man grew. Yeah, it's funny that Dan shot of RJ had me. Oh yeah, I love that meme, Dan. That was fantastic. I love the meme where Rick bends down to RJ and he's like, "Son, you're a disappointment." Like, I'm sorry, okay, but he's no Carl. Like, he really is not. Like, he will never be Carl. Like, it's just,
No.
yeah, no. Go ahead, Nick. You wanted to say something?
So I want to say, yeah, based on how this episode ended and what happened to Beal and the CRM, how do you feel about because the episode ends with Rick Michonne, their kids hugging, and then you see helicopters flying over with supplies. So I guess they're going to be, helping out Alexandra and the other community. How do you feel about that?
I'm alright with that, I guess. What the heck? What's going on with my computer? It's not working. Okay. Um, yeah, okay, so moving on. Let's see. Yeah, it's no big deal. Here's the thing, though.
Sorry.
No worries. Here's the thing, though. The Commonwealth and Alexandra, they joined together, and they were helping each other out, all that stuff. Now, this is like 6 months after Daryl left, and now you have the CRM coming in, which is just like, dude, guys, can you imagine how much the communities are going to change? Like, Alexandra was, like, terrible before Commonwealth came. Then Commonwealth comes, and it's like, oh yeah, they get fixed up. Now with the CRM's help, the Civic Republic, dude, like, the communities are going to be so changed. But Maggie's never going to know that because she dipped everyone. Like, I'm sorry. Like, guys, I have to ask this in the chat. Like, Dan, I don't know if you ever want to make this a video or something, but how does Maggie and Negan fit now in this story? Because, like, what I'm trying to say is that now I'm like, dude, so did Maggie ever find out Rick came back? Like, imagine if Dead City Season 2, Maggie mentions, like, yeah, I saw Rick, again, or something like that. They could mention that, but now I'm just thinking of, man, Maggie, why did you leave? Like, because now I'm thinking of, after Herschel got kidnapped in Dead City, I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, Maggie, why didn't you call everyone? Because can you imagine if the CRM came to New York? Like, and they're like, hey, you kidnapped Herschel Green, or Herschel Reed, you know what I mean? From Maggie's community, and they're under our protection, the CRM. So, you can't do that. Which, can you imagine what would have happened to the Croats and all those people if the CRM was like, hey, you kidnapped this woman's kid, we're allied with them, that's not cool, Can you imagine? Like, that would have been so funny. Oh my goodness.
Right.
My opinion, Maggie, she's a terrible character now. Anyways, I don't give a crap about anymore. I don't care about anymore.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. TV show Maggie, it's like ever since Gimple killed off Glenn and Abraham, mostly Glenn during the Negan lineup in the show. TV show Maggie became such a garbage character. Like, think about it. It started with season 8, and then eventually during like seasons 9 and 10-ish, somewhere around there, that's where her character started to get really bad. And then season 11, her character got even worse. And now Dead City, she's officially not a good character no more. And don't even get me started with Morgan.
Yeah.
Good. To be fair, Daryl and Morgan are no better. Daryl left to go to France. Morgan is still God knows where, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, guys.
But just Walking Dead.
What's up?
But just Walking Dead. That's why I said earlier that that with you and your reboot series universe, you're going to do a miles better job at General Beal than because I'm serious. When Beal died, I literally said out loud, "Give me a break."
Yeah, like I don't understand what this is. To be fair, guys, and I don't mean to bring this up on stream, but I feel like I have to say this. I wasn't surprised that Gimple was going to do this. I had a weird gut feeling in my gut that Gimple was going to, that he was going to pull a 360, kill a General Mobile, and waste the entire CRM within the final episode, The Ones Who Live. And lo and behold, it turns out that was actually true. And I'm like, unbelievable. Even my mother thought it was corny. My mother thought it was corny. I'm like, yeah, it's stupid.
I'm not lying to you guys. I literally said that out loud when Field died. I said, "Give me a break."
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like, he is like 70 something.
Yeah, but I also that's true, and I'm not denying that. But I also do agree that Gimple and AMC should have just went. Like looking back on it, like okay, if General Bill has a son, they should have just went with a younger actor, or like you said, Brian, AMC could have corrected themselves, and it's revealed that Mason is not General Bill's son. Mason is actually General Bill's grandson, but AMC didn't correct themselves.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Dan had that idea, and like, because he was like, because like, he looks like he could be his grandson. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, so moving on, guys. Oh, let me read the chat. Let's see, dang it, I'm so far behind. Hold on, guys. Personally loved the reunion. We should have had other characters. The point is, the last episode, family of his kids come first. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just the kids. Only the kids matter. Like, Rick does not need to meet Maggie again, or Carol, or Morgan, in my opinion. Like, but I do think Daryl, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I wonder if Negan and Rick came back. Yeah, probably. Maggie and Negan feels like they already know Rick's back for a while now. Yeah, that's true, Dan. But here's the thing, though: if Maggie and Negan know about Rick being back and the CRM, they are allied with the CRM. Why the heck does Maggie ditch everyone? Like, and let Herschel get taken? Like, what? Like, I'm serious. Like,
I mean, to be fair, yeah, I mean, not to be off, Brian. Like, to be fair, and this is fact. To be fair, Maggie did pretty much ditch everybody once before to go play with Georgie in the woods, to go be with her group, and we all know how that turned out. So it's no surprise that she actually did it again.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They just really wanted Maggie to happen, which, oh boy. Maggie, yes, Negan doesn't know. So Rick, Michonne, and Carol just let Maggie go off by herself to find Herschel. Well, I guess DeRosa, or she just dipped again. Maggie could have left before Rick got back. Yeah, that's true, Shook. That is true. But the thing is like, you don't, I don't know, like, that's still just is so weird to me. Like, that Maggie is like, yeah, we should see what else is out there, and then she leaves the hilltop. No, because Dead City is 5 years later. 5 or 6, but yeah, it's like, still, like, you think you would mention... Maggie mentioned Georgie, and she hasn't seen her in years, I assume, so it's like, man, she doesn't mention Rick. Let's see. Dan says Dead City timeline is so lost, lol. Yeah, it is, Dan, because now I'm thinking about this, the characters are in New York, in Dead City, and I'm like, man, what are Rick and the CRM doing now? Like, so you're telling me they're allied with the CRM now, and it's like, and Maggie is dealing with a bunch of thugs in New York, like, that use walkers as fuel, and they have to deal with cage fights and all that. And I'm like, Maggie, you know this place is like one phone call away from being destroyed by the CRM. Like, just give the call. Like, I mean, imagine that. What a legend. Let's see. By the way, a new teaser. I'm not interested in that, Josh. Let's see. That's from the stream. Hey guys, back to the episode. Let's see. Deny overreacting a bit. Michonne watching the side with the kids. Her eyes, facial look ridiculous. I thought she was okay chosen, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. All right. Okay. They keep calling each other family, but don't act like it. Always leaving others alone when times of need. I will say, Chosen, they are better family than the Fear characters, but yeah, that is so weird. Like how Maggie was all about. Maggie was one of the most closest characters with family, you know, and now she's just like, yep, nope, I'm out. Let's see, Dead City, 10 years in the future would make no sense. Yeah, you're right. If they characterized RJ, they would have done something interesting by having him a bit of a troublemaker since he didn't grow up with his dad, and now having Rick to parent him. Yeah, that's true, Chosen, but the most we got from RJ was he reads an Invincible comic. So overall, what would you rank this season? Great question, Dan. I think maybe a 9 out of 10. I had problems with it, but I think this was, for a one season thing and getting the ending, I mean, they actually gave us Judith and RJ. I'm like, okay. And they concluded the CRM as the evil threat. So I'm like, you know what? I give it that, like, I'm satisfied, you know what I mean? I give it a
Did
9
you see the deleted scenes? Or not? They're not released, but did you hear about the endings that were cut?
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. I heard about the picnic scene that was cut. But yes, I also heard from Dan, they did multiple endings. But I'm like, okay, so what endings? Like, do we get to see that in the Blu-ray? Like, what do you think?
I hope so. I mean, because I noticed that City and Daryl's Blu-rays, they're only like talking about, behind the scenes and all that. They don't really go into the deleted scenes. There's no deleted scenes actually in those. So I hope the Ones Who Live shows that. But yeah.
Yeah, same. Oh, that's cool, guys. I give it a 4 out of 10. Daryl Show, 8 out of 10. Dead City, 6 out of 10. Oh, man, that's crazy. You think this is worse than Dead City? I hear from Dan and so many others, they're like, yeah, Dead City is the worst of the spinoffs, like, at this point. Because, like, it's the most, like, why does this spinoff exist? Like, let's see, give it a 9 out of 10. Only a 10 out of 10 I can give. Okay, yeah, oh, what's my favorite episode? Maybe episode 2. I don't know. I think I gave that like a 9.5, maybe. I don't know. But I did like the part where Rick is talking to Beale. Rick has such a good poker face. Like I said, were there problems in this episode? Beale, RJ, yes. But here's the thing, though. This had to happen. Oh, you know what I thought of? Part of me kind of wishes we got a flashback of Kid Rick going down the stairs to see his father. Like, I kind of wish we got that flashback. Like more into that flashback, but it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? That's just sprinkles on the cake. But here's one thing I'll say. General Beale is a liar. He said, I've done this briefing to 2,536, soldiers, and, all of them were never like you. And I'm like, Beale, you are a liar. Like, I highly doubt that there wasn't at least a few that, like, when he says that, like, in the next 10 years, you could be in charge of the CRM, you know what I mean? And it's like, Beale, I know you're lying, because there are definitely people still above Rick, like, in the CRM. There are definitely still people above him. And, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that Beale, I think he was mixing truth with lies, which I believe is the best way to talk to someone, deceive someone, because you mix the truth with the lies.
He just
Like,
got really
Walker
comfortable with Rick is all.
Hey, Walker Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up?
So me personally, that's another scene that didn't really make sense. Is like it is the scene where we see like Michonne, she's walking along the fence, and then it cuts to someone else, and it cuts back. Michonne's gone. All of a sudden, she's jumping on the roof. Like, how the frick did she get up there?
Well, I guess Scott Campbell was like, oh, let's make this episode unrealistic as possible. Let's have Michonne a ninja, but only this time we're going to have her jump on a random building, but it's not going to be explained as to how she got on top of the building, which makes no sense at all. And let's be honest here, guys. And let's not forget too that Scott Campbell was the showrunner for The Ones Who Live. Also, he was a executive producer. So he pretty much had a lot to say what was going on in the spinoff.
Yeah,
So,
here's the thing. That did bug me, but I ignored it because I'm like, hey, no Ninja Walkers, but Ninja Michonne. I was okay with it. Okay, hold on. So, guys, moving on. Oh, that's awesome, Chosen. I say World Beyond is better than the Rick Show. I did not like it. Dang, you hear that? Man, that's crazy, man. For me, it's like about the same, in my opinion. It's about the same, like a 9 out of 10. It's kind of crazy, but I respect your opinion, man. Like, absolutely, because, I don't know, like, there was some stuff that World Beyond did where I'm like, man, this is actually really good. Like, it made me like the characters after I'm like, I don't like these characters. And I'm like, wow, I actually like them now. So, but it's funny, the World Beyond characters, I like them a lot more than than Pearl and Okafor and Beale. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Elizabeth Kublek, I'm like, man, she's a good villain. I'm like, she's charismatic. She's also, like, such a good manipulator. But when I see General Beale talking, I'm like, dude, how? I'm sorry, but Elizabeth Kublek was, like, way better for the CRM. Blu-ray
I need
does
to not like Iris more than Okafor Pearl.
Oh yeah, Iris is the queen compared to them. Because like I said, Pearl, I don't get her character, and Okafor was so overhyped.
Hey, Walker,
hold on. Let Nick has to say something. What's going on, Nick?
So, I just wanted to say that, like I told these guys earlier, that one thing I didn't like was the fact that General Beale in this season was so underutilized. Like, he was barely in the season. He did nothing, and then he just dies so quickly. I really didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I'm like, okay, you're finally giving us some more scenes with General Beale within AMC's Walking Universe. I'm like, okay, Gibbo, I see what you're trying to pull here. However, I'm sure General Beale, he was all talk, the way he was talking with Rick, but it kind of didn't matter though, because it's like, well, like, okay, Rick and General Beale, they get into this. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they get into this like old man like fight between each other, and then Rick gets the upper hand, and he's able to actually kill General Beale. But then we get to see him a few minutes later, like, a few scenes later as a walker. So I'm like, well, that's kind of a waste. I'm like, it's kind of ridiculous if you guys think about it.
Was anyone slightly disappointed that Beale didn't get like a more brutal death? Like, he didn't get Gareth or something? I'm like, dude, this guy has done so much horrible stuff, and yet it's like, dang, Rick just stabs him a little bit, and it's like, I'm dying, dude. Like, that's kind of how it was. Like, he died like so quick. I'm like, dang, man. Like, there was like, I don't know, like, it wasn't a big deal, but yeah. Hold on.
Well, he got him in his heart, so.
Right, but like, did you see him like coughing blood or something? I'm like, man, like if I'm just saying, if I was writing it, I would have had him like be a little more brutal with that, because I'm like, dude, this is General Beale, man. If there's anyone who deserved a brutal death in this franchise, it's him. After what he did, but yeah, it's not a big deal for me. It's okay. But yeah, let's see. It was just something I think they could have maybe done. Let's see. Daryl is better than the Rick show. Dang, really? That is a hot take. Big statement, a little, but I respect it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, guys, even if we disagree with each other, that's fine. As long as we respect each other's opinion. Let's see, it was surprisingly good. The Daryl show is the best show, but I prefer the ones who live more. Cool, Dan. Let's see, but we can agree the 3 spinoffs are way better than those. Well, I mean, I don't agree with that in a way. Like, I think World Beyond is still like one of the better spinoffs, in my opinion. Let's see. Let's see. Jay Knight asked Epic. Oh wait, no, he asked. Dang, what was the question? He asked, "Do you have any positives?"
Who, me?
Oh, asked me or asked Epic?
Epic. Do you have any positives for the episode?
Well, like I said, I like the reunion between Rick and Michonne and Judith. I like that.
Yeah. Also, you didn't mention RJ. I just noticed that, but yeah, the reunion was good.
Because I don't care about him. I don't care about RJ.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I'm not to cut nobody off here, but I have to agree with Nick here, and here's why. Let's be honest here, guys, and not to bring this up again, but remember during season 11 of the Walking Dead TV show where RJ was barely in like any episode, where when they were barely giving him any character development? That was RJ. Angela King, to be fair, Angela King was doing nothing with RJ. And that's also a negative that is a negative I will point out right here, right now. I'm like, okay, this is supposed to be Rick's second biological son, and yet you're not going to do anything with him? I'm like, come on.
And plus, like I said, his acting in this episode was stiff as a board.
Yeah, like I just said, this is like Rick. Yeah, this is like Rick's second biological child here. I'm like, come on, do something with him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah. Okay, hold on, guys. Gotta read the chat now. To each their own. I think Okafor and Thorne had a lot of potential, but they did nothing with them. I hated Nat. And Beal was just there. I didn't hate Nat. I thought he was cool, but he had to die. And yeah, for Beal being just there, yeah, man. I love it. We expected the Walking Dead Thanos. We expected General Beal to go like, I am inevitable, and just snap his fingers, and boom, a whole city dies. And it's like, no, that's not what we got. No, we had another Pope situation, which I kind of
Brian.
yeah, go ahead, man.
And funny thing is, I compared General Beale to Pope, and the reason I did that is because like Pope was built up as this really scary figure that you don't want to mess with because he put a target on Maggie, and in the end, he was a disappointment. And it was the same thing with General Beale. He was built up as this very evil, heartless, dangerous man, and in the end, he was just a disappointment.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Dan says, this is my ranking for the shows. Walking Dead. 2, Daryl. Oh, wow. 3, The Ones Who Live. 4, Destiny. Fear, World Beyond Tales. Oh, that's so nice, Dan. You have World Beyond above Tales. I knew you liked it. I'm kidding. But yeah, I respect your opinion, man. For me, I think it's, well, here's the thing. I never watched Dead City or Tales, but yeah, Fear and Tales are the bottom 2. And I still know about the spin-offs. I still know what happens in them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I did look up, the summaries. I'm like, okay, what happened? Because I wanted to look up what episode takes place 35 years in the future, and it's like, oh, it turns out none of the episodes did. It's like, oh man, like, are you serious? Okay,
and also,
You're not gonna watch season 2 of Daryl?
hold on, guys, one at a time.
And also, Brian, I did explain to you what happened in Dead City.
Yeah, that's true. You guys also explained to me what happened, which I appreciate. Sorry, Rick. You were saying?
Oh, I was just saying you're not gonna watch season 2 of Daryl if Rick comes out, because I'm sure AMC is not gonna ignore that reunion.
I don't think Daryl is. Sorry, I don't think Rick's gonna be in Dead City. Wait, Dead City? No, sorry. Wait, you said Dead
Daryl
City,
Dixon.
right? No, Daryl Dixon. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in that because it's the Book of Carol, which means I think they're going to show mostly her getting to France, and then she's going to see Daryl, and then they're going to try to get back to America. But here's the thing, though. We know there's going to be a season 3 of Daryl Dixon, and it's probably going to be in the UK, not, in the US, which is unfortunate. And we know we know that season, I'm kidding, and I'm guessing season 4 is going to be Daryl's in Egypt or something, fighting mummy zombies, so... it's like, yeah, like I wouldn't expect Rick anytime soon. Okafor serves his potential, I think. However, I do agree they were on Beal and Thorne. Thorne, I don't care for. They did overhype her, and Beal, they definitely overhyped. But I mean, to be honest, when they casted Terry O'Quinn, I'm like, oh yeah, another Pope. I just see it. Like, I just saw it. Brian Hart question, do you think Okafor would be proud of what Rick did? I don't know if he'd be proud of all the deaths, but he did change the CRM. Here's the thing, though. Okafor gave Rick and Pearl the book, The Art of Peace, so maybe he wanted to do, like, a peaceful revolution, and I'm like, kind of like Morgan, where it's like, oh, life is precious, like, I don't know, but... in my opinion, it's like, no, you can't. Yeah. The flashbacks of Rick thinking about Daryl, Michonne, Ezekiel, Eugene, Carol, and Negan came out of these flashbacks when Beale offered to spare any of his friends. Rick had I figured Rick, I thought he was just talking about family. But yeah, that's the thing though. It's like, why would Rick be thinking about sparing Negan? Like, imagine that. Imagine Rick goes to back to Alexandria, and he's like, guys, I can take 6 people with me. And he's gonna say, okay.
I found that odd that he thought about Negan, but I guess it kind of makes sense then because he was really trying to protect them from Maggie killing him, so it could honor Carl's wish. So I guess it makes sense that he still doesn't want him to die.
But what about his friend Rosita? Like I'm sorry, it's like he should care way more about Rosita's life than Negan at this point. Like. You know, because he doesn't know Negan's redeemed. Like, he doesn't know Rosita's dead. Like, dang, man,
Yeah, he
Rosita
doesn't
gets...
know.
Oh, man, Rosita gets no justice.
Well, I think they just
They-
included
they-
the characters in that flashback. Really, that's what they did.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Isn't Rosita at this point and the ones who live already dead?
Yeah, but Rick doesn't know that, and Rosita's been dead for a year and a half. Hold on, guys. I gotta read the chat. I think we should have seen the tower and the ones who... No! Not the tower! Not Strand's tower, please! Okay, let's be honest. Rick, grenades... Oh, yeah. Yeah, the grenade thing, I can't overlook that. Bro, Rick has always been immune to explosives. Yeah, Rick is invincible, man. Can we establish that? Rick is invincible. Rick could have had the frag in his mouth. He'd be fine. Yeah, true. Beale's just an old man vet. Yeah. He's just cooking. Yeah. Great question, Dan. Are you watching any of the shows after this, Brian? At the moment, no. Here's the thing, though. If the Daryl show has a CRM connection, I will watch that scene, maybe that episode. But I've canceled my AMC. I've canceled my subscription at the moment. So if there's a CRM scene in Dead City or Daryl Dixon, I will watch that scene. But if it, CRM, and if there's like Rick shows up, I will watch that, of course. But as far as like the whole episode, whole show, like episodes, like no. I got a lot on my plate right now, Dan. Like I got school, work, family, my show Extinction, and it's just like I just don't have time. I actually haven't finished Daryl. Yeah, see what I mean? Like some people haven't even finished Daryl. Like. This is crazy, but it's understandable. Swap Daryl and one to live, and I agree with Frank. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, man. Yeah, Shook, you have a good point, man. Can you imagine if Daryl was in the ones who live? Oh, man, that would have been so cool. Let's be honest here, there's no point watching Daryl Dix season 2 now. I don't know. Daryl is just a for fun show. Yeah, like, you know what? After this, the ones who live, Rick has now become more of a legend again than Daryl. Like, we gotta have Daryl doing crazy stuff in the ones in his show to outmatch Rick, because now Rick is invincible. You know, Rick is a Viltrumite, confirmed, guys.
But hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
But hey, Brian, Daryl's a god, like you mentioned before. He's a god, remember?
Oh yeah, thank you for pointing that out, man. You're right. Daryl is a god. A drop of his blood woke up an entire herd. They just smelled that god blood and were like, "Wow, we're so much more powerful now." Like, yeah. Let's see. I'll watch it for the fun thing. On me, the ones who live, they confirm the main Walking Dead story is over now. Yeah, see, that's exactly Mega Matt. With the end of Rick's story. That's it. In my opinion, this franchise is over. The CRM is now with the good guys, more or less. So it's like, what else is there? You know, like who's gonna be the next underwhelming villain? You know, we need a season 12 to finish up everything. I don't think they're gonna do that to Rosa. I don't think they're gonna do that to Rosa because they have a contract with Netflix and they don't have the rights to get back to Walking Dead. And reboot a season 12. And they have to share the profits with Netflix if they do that, I think. I did like the finale, how Rick was hesitant to agree with kids. Realistic. I agree, Chosen. That was realistic. I'm not fully satisfied until we get reunion. Well, you might have a long wait there, Rosa. In my honest opinion, the season of The Ones Who Live was true ending on the Walking Dead franchise. I agree, man. Like Walker Dead, I said it before and I'll say it again, obviously. In my opinion, I think I'm now kind of done with the Walking Dead franchise in a way that's like, I'll still like keep an eye out, for any new stuff that's coming out. Like, but like as far as like spin-offs, like I think that's it. Like I'm good now. Like I think that's it. I wouldn't say Daryl in season 3 is for sure yet. Until AMC confirms it. Gimple and crew are planning it, but I don't think they've made an official renewal announcement. Yeah, that's true, Shook. But I mean, it's Daryl. Like he's gonna get season 3.
I think AMC will want the Daryl show to go on for a while because AMC, they love Norman Reedus.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, guys, by the way, really quick. Okay, what would you do if like Daryl comes back and he finds out that Mason Beale. We find this out. Imagine if Mason Beale kills Rick, and imagine Daryl comes back from France only to find that out. Like, what would you guys do if that happened? Like just let me know in the chat. Let's see. Season 11, episode 24, series finale of the series. Let's be honest. Rick doesn't care about Rosita. He won't ever get anyone. Wait, we won't ever get anyone telling him. Yeah, that's true. That's a shame. We won't ever get Rick knowing about who died, or see the reaction. Norman said he's going to film Daryl season 3 and 4 as Norman said. Dang, really, Dan? He's gonna film season 3 and 4 around the same time? Dang. I don't think this is the last time we've seen Rick and Michonne. I think it is DeRosa, but who knows? I could be wrong. Angela King, killing off TV Rosita was being... Yeah, I do think it was a mistake, but the actress wanted to leave, so there's not much you can do with that. Not someone had to die in the finale. I agree, I just don't think Rosita was the right call. Yeah, Norman confirmed in the video. I'll try to find it. Someone had to die in the finale. No one died. No one died for a whole final season, practically. I think for several seasons, Chuck, no one died. For like 2 seasons. Angela Kang was due too much pacifist. I agree. Daryl would have escaped from the CRM and taken them out in instance. Yeah, he's a god. Plot twist, if Rick wasn't running to the kids, he saw his gun, got excited to have Oh yeah, that'd be funny. Hey Dan, would you love a... Okay. Oh, he's asking Dan. Okay. I disagree, Rosita. Okay, yeah. Kang is too scared to kill off characters. Yeah, she was, especially with the whole Gimple debacle. Yeah, because she wants to keep her job. Yeah, that's true. But then again, how did Ian and Andy keep their job for so long? Hold on, guys. I still have to... Oh, my goodness. I have so much of the chat left. Walking Dead Universe, my opinion... Wait, the Walking Dead universe, in my opinion, is done. Now it's time to watch Daryl for 10 years. Dang, Dan. You might be right. Imagine we get like 13 seasons of Daryl Dixon. That'd be crazy. I don't think it was Kang, to be honest. I think AMC said no more deaths, leaves their opinions open. I don't know about that, Shook. She's a showrunner and a writer. Like, so I think she has all the creative control as far as deaths. But as far as the budget, that's the higher ups. But yeah, I don't know. Daryl's just a plot armor god. He is, but Rick... definitely stood up with his plot armor. Funny enough, it was Christian's round. Oh yeah, I knew. Yeah, Christian wanted to die. But yeah, I know Daryl's way better than the ones who live. No dumb plot holes, fear writing. I don't get why people complain about they're scared to kill people. Everyone was complaining when Glenn and Carl didn't have their plot armor. Wait, why people complain? Well, yeah. Here's the thing though. Glenn and Carl, in my opinion, shouldn't have died because Glenn died in the comics that way. It was also too brutal for a lot of people, and in my opinion, with the whole dumpster thing, it wasn't Glenn's time. With Carl, he was the wrong character altogether. Angela King was scared to kill Rosita, considering the backlash. Yeah, that's true. What if Glenn Mazzara stayed as showrunner? I have no idea. Rick can't die. He literally just stood an explosion and lived. Right, Dan. But like I said, imagine Mason Beale shows up in Rick's room, and Rick's like, "Who are you?" And then Mason Beale's like, "Your worst nightmare," and then just shoots Rick and kills him. It's like, dude. Will you watch Daryl Dixon season 3? I don't think so. If there's anything CRM related, I will watch that. Anything Rick related, I will watch that too. I promise that, but I will not watch the whole shows. Everyone would be dead. If Rosita's actor didn't want to be killed off. If Alden didn't die, there'd be some no important deaths. Alden was not an important character death. He was a minor character, in my opinion. Andrew Lincoln will be back. Daryl season 2. Him and Norman's best friend, so he would do it. I don't know, Rick. Maybe, but I don't see it. Daryl's plot armor could destroy the Infinity Stones. Yeah, it could, Mega Man. Honestly, Andrew Lincoln makes sense. England isn't too far away from France. No, I don't think it makes sense because they don't know Daryl's in France. They don't know that. Rick's plot armor versus Daryl's. I don't know, man. That's a good question. It's like a immovable object meets unstoppable force. Andrew Lincoln was in France when Daryl was filming season 2, so it might be possible. But why would he leave his kids though? And then why would Carol go after Daryl just for Rick to go there? Gimple is done being a writer and showrunner for a show, I think. I hope so, man, because this show, like, it was not the best. Like, Gimple needs to freshen up on his writing. Actually, Brian Gimple said he doesn't want that to be the last of Rick and Michonne, so either the ones that live and be interested. Well, here's the thing, Rick. It doesn't matter what Gimple wants. I couldn't give a crap what Gimple wants. It matters what Andrew Lincoln and Denai want. If they said they're done, it's over. Like, we should get no Alden spinoff. All right, guys. Okay, yeah. So going back to the episode, because guys, I do have to end the stream in 45 minutes. Okay, so back to the episode. Michonne finds out about the plot to kidnap the kids, which here's one thing that surprised me, because in World Beyond, Jada said they saved 10,000 kids. So that was all of the kids from Omaha in the campus colony, like all the young kids, you know what I mean? I assume like, babies to like 12 years old kind of thing. But then they say like, hey, we're only going to take 10% of the kids. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? Why only 10% of the kids? Because 87,000 people, 10% of that is, 8,700. And 10% of that is like 870. So I'm like, wow, like the CRM is not even trying to take all the kids. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, did you guys notice that? How like before the CRM they saved all the kids from Omaha, but then now with Portland, they're like, no, we're just gonna take 10% now. Like, did you guys notice that?
Yeah,
Walker
did.
Dead. Rick, Walker Dead, Chosen. What do you guys think about that change? Just curious.
Wait, could you repeat it? I'm sorry. The question.
In World Beyond, Jada said they saved 10,000 kids from Omaha and the campus colony. That was like 9 to 10% of the population that they wiped out. That was all the kids from Omaha and the campus colony. But here, they're like, no, we're only going to save 10% of the children from Omaha. Omaha has 87,000 people, and yet they're only saving 870 kids. And I'm like, wait, that's not 10, that's 10% of the kids' population. Like, in World Beyond, they saved all the kids from Omaha, but for Portland, they're like, no, we're only going to do 10%. Any ideas on that?
I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know. It's not surprising, man. I mean, that they would actually. It's like, yeah, World Beyond's afraid that Jadison and CRM saved like a large amount of kids, but at the same time, it's like, well, what are you doing with those kids? Are you brainwashing them to become soldiers? Like, is that what they're really doing? Just brainwashing them to be soldiers? Like, well, that's kind of messed up if you think about it.
Yeah,
Beyond messed up.
yeah, I agree. Rick, what do you think?
So they took more kids from Omaha, is what you're saying?
They
than what they were going to do with Portland?
They took 10,000. They took the entire children population from Omaha and the campus colony. Not all the teenagers, I assume, but all of the kids from 0 to 12 years old, I think. 10,000 kids.
I think they might have shortened it with Portland, probably because it's just too much. That's my only guess on it.
But
yeah, that's my only guess on it. It's just like, it's too much for them, given how many they took from Omaha.
Yeah, that's a good point. But still, it's like, yeah, it's like, wow, really, Beal, you're not even gonna try to get all the kids, like, because Omaha had way more kids than Portland, like, so yeah.
Did you believe him, Brian, when he was offering Rick to, like, he would spare anybody Rick chooses to bring to the CRM?
I was kind of surprised Beal said that, but after that, I'm like, yeah, Rick, don't fall for it. He's just testing you or something. Like, I'm like, listen, man, it's just a trick because, like, dude, like, he's just like, yeah, bring anyone you want and, here into the CR. It's like, I admit Beal has that power. He does. But it's like, yeah, like, no, I don't trust you, Yeah, it's like seriously, imagine that. Imagine Rick goes to Alexandria and it's like, yeah, I'm going to grab Judith, RJ, and that's it. Everyone else, yeah, you guys can die. Like, that's not Rick's character. Like, it's not. Like, at all. Like, yeah, man, just no. Like,
yeah, he got really comfortable with Rick, I noticed, when he heard Rick has tried to escape so many times, but the one time he had the opportunity to fully leave, he came back. So it just made him get comfortable with Rick and change his mind about him.
Yeah, but you ask me, Beal is a senile old man who, oh my goodness, he realized the truth too late. Because when he sees Rick's face, I love the music, and I loved Rick's murder face, because as soon as Beal sees that face, he's like, oh shoot! And then Rick tackles him. I'm like, oh man.
That was actually insane when he found out Rick was trying to kill him.
I know. I'm like, Beal, are you surprised? Like, how can Rick have literally been the only person out of like almost 3,000 soldiers to be like, after hearing that, being like, nah, I'm gonna kill, like, you is dead. I'm gonna kill you. Like, oh my goodness. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just,
I love the flashbacks though they did, like showing him and Michonne the enemies they've defeated over the years. I love that they put that before he attacked Beale.
yeah.
Hey, Brian.
I actually didn't like that. I think that's kind of just a waste of time. But I understand why they did it, just in case some people like forgot about like what they've been through. But personally, I actually didn't like that.
Hey,
Oh, I see.
Brian.
I see you have like a new channel chosen. It's alright if you can send me the link. I'll sub to your channel.
Oh well, I created it again, but I'm not recording videos anymore.
Not. Oh, right. If you want, I'm true. But if you want to stay posted with my content, Bri, I mean, you can sub to our channels if you want to.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
That's my main issue with Beale is the fact that, like, over these years, you were saying that he was supposed to be this very big, evil, heartless, dangerous person. Whereas the Beale we got, he did nothing. Like he did nothing in The Ones Who Live. He wasn't a threat. He didn't kill anyone on screen. He did nothing that we saw while he was on screen. He didn't feel like a threat, like the governor and Negan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you gotta remember, Terry O'Quinn is 71 years old, so, there is that, so, yeah, man, like I said, man, if, someone a little younger maybe would have been the right choice, okay, but he did a good job,
That's
the actor did a
crazy
good job.
though. That's
Okay.
crazy because they said Gimple wanted him to play Beale, that was his pick. So that's just what Gimple envisioned.
Not to cut you off, Rick. I'm sorry to say this, but when it comes down to Gimple and Angela Kang, and I hate to say this, but maybe I don't know, maybe you guys would agree with me on some of the casting for characters. When it comes down to Gimple and Angela Kang, like their taste in casting characters is actually pretty dumb. Like for example, with Angela Kang, she casted Cassidy McQuincy as Lydia. When let's keep in mind, guys, she looks nothing like Lydia. She acts nothing like Lydia, and Lydia surviving the show was in my opinion was a middle finger, considering Henry and Carl are dead within the show. So in my opinion, that was a middle finger. But my point is, when it comes down to their taste in casting, it kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Kinda funny
but,
that
I mean, I see what you're saying, but it's just I don't think the looks really matter. I mean, given how far the show is, because Negan doesn't look like comic book Negan. So, I mean, I think they're just trying to look for the acting's good.
Not to you off, Rick. I understand what you're saying, Rick, but to me, I'm like, okay, if you're going to cast a certain actor to play a character, with me, the actor, when it comes down to me, when I'm doing like a casting for like a character, with me, I'm like, well, the actor has to look the part. The actor has to look the part. If the actor doesn't look the part, then that specific actor is probably not fit to be the character, and that's just how I roll. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but that's how I roll. I'm like, listen, it's all about you. You have to, in my opinion, when it comes down with me for casting, you have to look the part. I'm sorry, you have to look the part. You can't just pull a 360 and be like, oh, let's have this random actor playing Sadiq, or oh, let's have this random actor playing Lydia. No, that's not how it works.
Well, Walker Dead. Yeah, we respect your opinion, man, but they tried that with Heath, and we saw how badly that turned out. So
yeah, but I know what I know what you mean, Brian. But let's be honest here. You and me can both agree right here, right now, that maybe Corey Hawkins didn't look the part as Heath.
No, he looked like Heath. He looked like Heath.
Yeah,
it's just that he was disloyal.
Yeah, however, the actor. Yeah, that's true. But again, if the actor was not going to be loyal, like you're stating to me right now, then why go with that? Why go with that actor to be the character when you can actually do a recast, or you can actually pick someone else?
I don't know.
Hey, Walker Dead.
Go on,
Hey,
Nick.
Walker Dead.
Go on, Nick.
Well, I completely agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, we're probably never going to see Cassie McClinty as Lydia ever again.
True, but however, my point still stands here, guys. Listen, I'm like, listen. If you're casting for a character, the actor has to look the part. And this is just my honest opinion. People can disagree all they want. They have to look the part. I'm like, sure. And then people want to bring in like, oh, Corey Hopkins does look like Heath. I'm like, well, to be fair, TV show Heath was not a very important character. Let's be honest. And like Brian stated, the actor was not loyal enough. Hence, I say they could have went with another actor or a different actor that still looked at the part. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Hey guys, hold on. I gotta read the chat. Esteban spinoff. Justice for Esteban. Yeah, guys, I know you loved Esteban. You guys probably think he should have been the Perito of The Ones Who Live, but he was not, and I'll say that.
He was just a one-off character.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. What was the point of his character? His character meant nothing to the story.
He was just to help Rick try to escape when they found that girl. Like, you know, like that was the only purpose he had, to try to escape, and it gets ruined. Hold on, guys. I still have to read the chat. I'm really behind. From the CRM spinoff. Can't lie, episode 1 was really dark. I already know the reboot series CRM will be amazing. Dominic Purcell about to be so fire. Oh, thank you, Mega Matt. That's what he Walker Dead. So Mega Matt says he knows about the reboot series, and yeah, Dominic Purcell, like, oh man, that's fire.
Yeah, I totally agree. At least with, I will admit, at least with you guys, with, Dan, Wasteland, Mega Man, at least with you guys, for example, I know you guys were excited for the reboot. Because let's be honest here, the show kind of missed out on so much. And I'm sure Brian would agree, because let's be honest here, the show, sure, it has some pretty decent moments. And I'm not denying that. It has some pretty decent moments. However, they messed up on so much. And it's like, why? Why would you do that? You have so much opportunity here. But unfortunately, as we know, Gibble and Angela Kang, they kind of messed some stuff up. Like, some things up. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, it just shows to me that AMC do not care about quality, but like making the story amazing or putting in good writing, quality, adding care. They don't care about any of that stuff.
I think they partially do, but I think it's a budget issue, guys. Like, think about it. They had Polly and McIntosh in the show. Andrew Lincoln, Deny. So I think what the issue was with The Ones Who Live is just simply matter of fact, it was the budget. They just simply didn't have the budget to keep Terry O'Quinn for that long. And it's like, man, if you don't have the budget, like, maybe get someone else. I don't know. But like I said, what's done is done, and it's okay. General Beale, in my opinion, O'Quinn had to die. General Beale, Terry O'Quinn.
That doesn't make sense to me because you'd think the Walking Dead franchise would have made AMC so much money that they would put back into the franchise. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You'd think that the whole franchise, the main show, everything would have made them so much money,
Yeah, I agree. But it's just not like that, man. It's tough, man. There's a lot of competition out there for streaming services. By the way, guys, how funny would it be if Rick, Judith, and Michonne, they all go back to the Commonwealth and Judith introduces Rick to her boyfriend? Like, imagine that. What would be Rick's reaction? Oh man, can you imagine that? Oh my goodness, that'd be so funny.
Judith has a boyfriend?
No, but imagine that. Well, we don't know how old she is. Like, in my opinion, she's 11 years old. But, like, they say, like, she's, like, 13 now. So, like, who knows? But imagine that. Imagine, like, Judith reveals to Rick, like, she has a boyfriend now because she's been in the Commonwealth a while. So, like, imagine that. Imagine Rick's reaction, guys, to if, Judith had a boyfriend. That would be so funny. Oh, man, I wish we got that. I'll just leave it to my imagination. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me read the chat. Let's see, Carl says, I thought Lydia was great in the show. I'm cool with the changes. Yeah, I think Lydia was okay, for the most part. But yeah, she didn't look like comic Lydia. Do you think Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera, do you think Rick should have kept his prosthetic? Yeah, I agree. He should have. I can agree the casting is really cool. The casting is for the most part good, Dan, but there are some times where they miss up. Like Corey Hawkins as Heath, that was bad casting because he was so disloyal. Do you think Angelina did great performances? Yeah, they did great, Josh. Andy and Denai. Esteban is the only new character who lived. Let's go. Yeah, it's true. Esteban was meant to just help Rick. He wasn't supposed to be more the character. I agree with that, Jay Knight. Esteban was to show Rick at least made one friend at the CRM. Yeah, but he should have made more, man. Like, Rick should have made a ton of friends. But he didn't. I disagree. Okay. I hope you do Thorne's character better and you reboot Walker Dead. Oh, Walker Dead. Josh says he hopes you do Thorne's character better. Are you gonna do Thorne? Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know some people are like, oh, you can do it either way. Like, you can do her justice. I'm like, true, but I mean, but then again, also to be fair on as well, I'm like, well, not much was known about her. Plus, she was very annoying, very, very dumb at times, and was so comfortable with being with CRM. I'm like, what? Like, what kind of a character are you? But to answer your question, to answer the question, I do not know because, I mean, I'm like, sure, I do have an interest for like a character to take Rick's CRM story, but it could be Rick. But no, it can't be Rick. No, it can't be Rick because we all know how that turned out. If it's gonna be with a character, I feel like it's better and safer to have it be like a different character than to have it be Rick. Because remember when some people, and I gotta ask this, but I remember when some people were like, "Oh, I wish TV Rick was in the Whisperer War," or "Oh, TV Rick could have made it to Commonwealth."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I don't want reboot Rick to have that same kind of treatment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that.
Yeah. You're gonna have Rick in that storylines. Okay, so guys,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. Guys, how insane was it that Rick took General Beale's body and just like puts him in that thing and it just starts bleeding. And I'm like, oh, dang, like it's bleeding. Oh. And I'm just like, dude, I thought this guy next to him might have been Silas. I feel like that would have been a cool reveal. They didn't do that though. And I'm like, of course they didn't do it. Cause I thought I thought the actor was coming back. I'm like, dang it, man. But yeah, I will say this though, the fight was awesome. Rick got beaten up a bit, but it's like, yeah, dude, he beat the guy to death with his prosthetic hand, which now that I think about it, I'm like, oh man, has anyone noticed that? Rick never killed someone with his Assassin's Creed prosthetic hand blade. Like, I'm like, what I mean? He killed him with the fist, but he didn't kill him with the blade. Imagine if Rick put the blade out on his hand and then stab someone through the throat with it. Like, I'm like, oh man, that would have been so cool. But I still like that he killed that guy with that. And as soon as I saw the other soldier, I'm like, oh crap! But it was Michonne. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I love that they put the bodies. I love that they put the bodies. I love that they put the bodies in the crate, and it's just so bloody. And it's like, oh man, they have bodies in the crate. Like, oh man, that's funny. Dawn was a waste of a character. She could have been redeemed and helped Rick out. Mega Matt, I hear what you're saying, but I disagree with that because as soon as episode 3 happened, and I knew the Echelon briefing was the extinction plan, as soon as Pearl was like, Rick, guess what? I got promoted. Like, as soon as she was like that in episode 3, and remind you, I knew the plan was the extinction plan. I'm like, what kind of person are you? You're all about like, yeah, I just got promoted, Rick. It's like, you literally just found out that 90% of the kids in Portland and 100% of the adults will die. Like, literally, only 870 kids will be taken out of the city of 87,000. And you're just like, yeah, I got promoted. Isn't this great, Rick? It's like, dude, what kind of person are you? I'm like, in my opinion, I'm just like, no, like, you can't be saved. Like, you're just okay with this? Like, yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
how do you feel about that line from Beale when he said, like, "Oh, we only got 14 years left on this planet, and like eventually this planet is going to be nothing but corpses that's going to rot for like." How do you feel about that line?
I knew he was lying. I knew he was like lying and all that because Jadis said, like, back in World Beyond, she said that the Alliance would soon become a drain on the Pacific Republic's resources. She said soon. And Beale is just like, yeah, in 14 years, we're all going to be dead. But Beale forgot that the zombies only last 20 years, when they're created, you know what I mean, from the apocalypse, from the outbreak. They only last 20 years. Like, Beale forgot about that in the comics. But yeah, like the way he's just like, yeah, we only have 14 years. Yeah, we only have 14 years left on this planet because you keep wiping out cities, Beale. That's the issue. But I do think a part of him was right in the way that I do think that he was partially right in some way, because I do think that, 14 years from now, there's going to be a lot less people, in the world. There's going to be a lot less. But I think that he was a lot lying about that. I heard they were originally going to bring in some characters to reunite with Rick, but decided not to do that because it would take too long and have to make another episode. Interesting. She should have, Matt. The soldier with Rick in the elevator seems so nervous for some reason. He must have been betraying the CRM too. LOL. Right. Imagine that plot twist. Imagine if Silas is this awesome leader and he told that guy to hey, go down somewhere and kill Beale. And then can you imagine that? It's like Silas was manipulating things behind the scenes or something. Thorn was such a pointless Thorn she was a Thorn. Yeah, she was a CRM simp. I meant dead. Thorn was a pointless character, waste of potential. Thank you for agreeing with me. I hope you do justice. I do think Daryl Dixon season 2 looks really good. Well, that's cool, Dan. Did you see Rick's video about Andrew Lincoln's message to the fans? I did not. Can you guys send it to me or something after the stream? Daryl Dixon season 2 sweep. Man, you guys are saying that, season 2 is going to be amazing, but I don't know, man. In my opinion, I think that Daryl is just going to kill this Madame Jeanette lady. And then it's just like, oh, well, who's the villain now? Guys,
that lady, the Madam Web lady.
No, Madame Jeanette. No, Madame Jeanette. Madame Jeanette.
Madam Jeanette sounds like Madam Web. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know why that popped into my head. That's so hilarious, bro.
Yeah, Madam Web. We don't talk about
Madam
that.
Web. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear like you just said, you just said Madame Jeanette, something like that, and what came to my mind was the shitty Madam Web movie we got this year from Sony. When they meme about that on YouTube, Madam Web. I don't know why that pops into my mind. I'm like, oh, Madam Web. Daryl versus Madam Web in France, confirmed.
Awesome.
It's hilarious.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Helicopter with one circle only now when they were going home, Rick and Michonne.
Oh, whoa, what? Man, did I miss that? Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's it. When they're flying back, that cargo helicopter, basically it's one circle now. They took off the two.
But wait, don't they still have Portland?
Yeah, it's very confusing, but there's people pointing that out that they made it one circle. So I don't know if Portland just, when they found out about the attack, they were like, screw off. Oh.
But
hey, Brian.
Hold on, man. But without the CRM's resources, they're gonna die. They're gonna starve.
I don't know. Maybe they are still working with them, but I guess they just didn't like the design of only two circles. I don't know. I just noticed they switched it to one.
That is so weird. Interesting. I'll have to look at that. Go ahead, Nick.
So because of General Beale falling or dying, why do you think after that the CRM became good and started helping the other communities?
Well, I think that somehow the civilian government were. Here's the thing, though. Rick and Michonne did not give the CRC information about Beale because they didn't have anything on them. They had no backpacks. They didn't have evidence against Beale. So what did Rick and Michonne do to get them? I think maybe it was someone else. secret plot twist? Maybe someone else went to the council and gave them the information while this was happening. Think about that, guys.
Plot twist. I was just about to say, like, plot twist. It's actually Heath. It's actually Heath, but we don't see him.
No, Heath is dead, Walker Dead. Please, no.
I was just joking. That was a terrible joke. I'm sorry.
I know, but I do think that, yeah, like, there's something else going on behind the scenes. Because Rick and Michonne did not give the government, the council, the information. They didn't have any information on Beale. They lost it. Because, we'll go back to this. So Pearl holds them at gunpoint, and she's like, you're going to go back there and undo what you did. And as soon as she said that...
when I first heard, that's not going to be off. When I first heard her say that, I'm like, you are one... In my mind, I literally said this. You are one stupid... I really hope Michonne kills you. That's what I said in my mind. That's how much I hated her. I hated her character by that point.
I know.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I mean, technically, Michonne did stab her.
True, but some people want to disagree. Like, oh my god, no, she's still alive. She's still alive. I'm like, how can she still be alive?
Yeah, imagine Pearl comes back and she has like a Two-Face thing. Her face is burned from the chlorine gas, and she's just like, "I'm back." It's like, did Ian and Andy write this? Like, oh man.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Madam Web.
Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's another thing that didn't make sense. Okay, like after the frickin' the fluorine bombs go off, Michonne and Rick climb on top of this cargo freight and they take their masks off. They take their masks off while there's still chlorine gas. That didn't make sense.
And they start kissing. Like, it's the love story. It's the power of love. I'm like, Gimple, what kind of crap were you smoking? Like, get out of here. Power of love my behind. So unrealistic, that part.
Dude, you can't question the power of love. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that made no sense. The fact that Rick and Michonne climb on top of this, like, container or whatever, while the chlorine gas is still all around them, and they take their freaking masks off.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, man. I mean, I noticed they took off their masks, but I didn't notice them kissing or whatever. They were running up the shipping containers, but running on top of them, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I'm just okay with a lot of it, because I was looking at the time, I'm like, guys, we have like 5 minutes left. Like, I'm like, you gotta wrap this up. Like, but yeah, I did not watch Madam. Oh, did I watch Spider-Verse? Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't a fan of it, though. I didn't like the Miles Morales short film. I didn't like that. Plot. AMC will protect Rick from dying. I don't think so, Rick. I think your days are numbered, man. Mason Beale is coming for you. What do you think is more interesting show, Brian? Dead City or Daryl? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to say Daryl. I can't believe I'm saying that. But I heard from you guys that Daryl is better. And I heard there might be a CRM connection in season 2. But Maggie and Negan, they're in the future. And it's like, it's dumb. Rick and Daryl will be protected at all costs. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. So Pearl's like, you're gonna undo what you did. And I'm like, Pearl, there might be a bit of a problem with that. I don't think Rick knows how to unwalker a person. Like, cause seriously.
And the funny thing is, like that look on her face as soon as zombified General Beale comes out of that, comes out of that curtain, she was like, what? Like, you could see the look in her face, you know?
Yeah. By the way, did you guys notice that General Beale was really slow as a walker? I'm glad he turned. I will say that. He deserved to. But here's the thing, though. Did you guys notice he was so slow as a walker?
Yeah, because he's an old man. Because Terry O'Quinn's like you stated before, Brian. Terry O'Quinn's like 71 years old, so it makes sense for old man General Beale to be walking like that because he's such an old man.
But like, I could tell what she was thinking once she realized that General Beale was a walker, she was probably thinking, Rick, what the fuck did you do?
Hey, Nick, no cursing, please.
Oh, sorry, but yeah, she was probably thinking that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, we get the fight, and Michonne is like, "Love doesn't die. Love doesn't die." And then imagine it shows a picture of Glenn with his bashed in head, and it's a meme, and it says, "Am I a joke to you guys? Like, am I a joke?
Am I a
like,
joke to you?
like, because I'll tell you guys that much. Love did die in that scene, in that season. Like, oh yeah, Negan killed Love in that moment. I'll say that. Like, but yeah, I
like
get
you
the
said earlier, Negan killed Love.
yes. Okay, so I like how they made Beale and the soldier fresh zombies. Most of the time nowadays they don't. Yeah, I like seeing fresh zombies again. Like, it's nice to see them. Okay, yeah, so then Pearl dies. Oh, I did like this. She was like, "You destroyed the world." And I love how Rick doesn't say anything. I love how he's just fighting Pearl. And it's just like, in my head, in his head, he's probably just like, "Oh, shut up, Pearl." Cause yeah, he's right. It's like, I'm with Rick and Michonne on this. Like, they saved the world, if you think about it. Like, no, like, because this is gonna destroy the world. Beale is leading the human race closer to extinction. Like, they had no choice but to stop Beale in the CRM, in my opinion. Let's see. How old is Judith in the finale? Great question, Josh. Some people say she's 13. I think that's too old. I think this takes place 6 months after Daryl leaves, so I believe she's 11 years old. But, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's your opinion. You could say she's 12 or 13. But in my opinion, in my headcanon, she's 11. So yeah, Daryl is the best show because of how scary the walkers are. Definitely better than Dead City. Yeah, Dan. Oh man, are you sad that we didn't get to see any variant zombies like in The Ones Who Live? Like, imagine if Beale showed Rick a video of a variant zombie in France, because he said it. Beale said that he has spies around the world in other communities, and I'm like, guys, he just confirmed it. Shira and Roman Calhoun, the guys who worked under Lance, they were CRM spies. They definitely were. Because they were under Lance, they were his henchmen, and Lance was the deputy mayor of the city. So I'm like, guys, 100%, yeah. Oh, thank you, Walker Dead. I appreciate that.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, really quick, man. He says, "That's crazy. Is the show legit connected to the universe? If so, I will certainly watch it." Yes, Jay Knight. The Walking Dead Extinction, my spin-off show, is connected. It's not a reboot. It's not a rewrite. It's with original characters I created, and it is canon to the world of The Walking Dead. So yes. Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
So me personally, another thing I did like about the finale is I did like the fact that technically by killing Beale, Rick was protecting Alexandria one last time. He did save it.
That's true. Rick, you want to ask a question about my channel?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to ask that since you're finishing up your series you made, and since, you won't be watching Dead City or Daryl Dixon, what's your plans for, your channel in the future?
Great question, man. I still have school and other things in my life that unfortunately take a lot of my time. But here's the thing, though. Extinction Season 5, the second half, that is slowly coming out this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm spreading it around. I'm spreading it throughout the months and weeks. So by the end of this year, Season 5B will be done. You know what I mean? Like, it will be out. But the thing is, though, like I said before, Season 5 will end open-ended, but also possibly setting up a 6th season if I get enough support for it. And if I do a 6th season, it will be the final conclusion to the story. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that Season 5 will be kind of like The Ones Who Live, sort of, where it's like open-ended, but then you're also like, there's still a little bit more we have to see. You know what I mean? And then Season 6 will be like 100% the last thing I do. And by the way, Walker Dead, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. I'm really proud of my main character. Yeah. Let's see. It's connected. Yeah.
Make more spin-offs, Brian. Just make more spin-offs?
Will I make more spin-offs? No, but I will do a remastered of my spin-off. So the first couple seasons are rough. Like season 1 and 2 of my Extinction show, they have some rough edges, and I think I might try to remaster or redo them. Like, you know what I mean? It's basically just, I'm going to retell the story of the first couple seasons, but it's going to be like more polished and expanded more with certain things, but it's still going to be canon. You know what I mean? It's just going to be more polished with dialogue and stuff. It's going to be the same, but yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Ashok. Take care, man. God bless. Have a good night. And thank you for coming, man. Really appreciate that. Old man Brian retiring. No, I'm not retiring. Chosen. I'm still. Here's the thing, though. The Walking Dead universe is still going. Am I going to watch Daryl Dixon? No. Am I watching Dead City? No. Am I watching More Tales, which I don't think is coming out? No. But there's still other things. Like, there's Invincible. I do watch that. And I might review that at some point. I don't know. And if we find out there's going to be more Rick, more Michonne, more CRM, I will probably check that out. You know what I mean? Like, I will still review that if we do get something else there. I don't think we will, but I will. And obviously there's my show, Extinction. And yeah, Walking Dead Extinction.
Now imagine my Walking Dead Reboot universe as well as,
Yeah, that too. That too, man. I am going to do some streams, with your reboot series now that The Ones Who Live is over. It's just gonna take some time, because right now, I'm gonna start school again soon. And then also, like, my show, I'm trying to get season 5 finished.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, guys, so 10 minutes. We have less than 10 minutes now, and I'm ending the stream. If you guys have any last-minute questions or anything you want to ask me really quick, like, you know what I mean, a question from each of you kind of thing, yeah, go ahead. So let's start with Nick.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
So me personally, are you happy that they saved Alexandria again?
I would say yes. I do kind of wish it got gas. I do kind of wish there was some consequence in this show, but there wasn't. I thought we were going to get a season 2, but we didn't. But I will say, like, yeah, the fact that the CRM is now like, yeah, we're the good guys now, and, we're doing all this, which, you know what I mean? I'm satisfied with it. Would I have liked to see some things happen? Yeah, in my opinion, I would have. But sadly, we didn't get that, which I'm okay with. Like, Alexandra not getting bombed, that's okay. It didn't happen. Scott is still dead. You know what I mean? Scott, he's still dead. It doesn't matter. But would it have been a cool consequence in the story? Yeah, but it's fine because I was satisfied with this ending and what they were going for. I do like it. So here's one thing I'll say, guys. With the CRM delivering supplies everywhere now, I'm just thinking about, like, man, what else can they do? Like, seriously, imagine that. Like, they're going to show up to Alexandria in helicopters, and it's going to be like, wow, like, Aaron and everyone will be so shocked. And imagine Gabriel just being like, oh, helicopters. Hey, guys, is Jadis around? And then imagine the characters just looking at Gabriel, and they're like, Gabriel, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden, Gabriel's like, okay, I have to come clean, guys. I kind of been keeping this group a secret all these years. Like, imagine that. Like, Aaron and everyone.
Frank punches him in the face.
And he's like, what? Like, oh my goodness.
Oh, I just thought about this now. Like, imagine the CR, the CR or whatever they're calling now, in AMC's Walking the Universe. Imagine they do something stupid like, oh, we're going to go out to other cities and communities. We're going to help people. All life is precious. And then they help out Madre.
No, no.
Madre. I'm like, oh, hell no.
No.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
And by the way, I just have to say, that's by far the stupidest name for a community I've ever heard.
Madre, don't worry, Nick. Look at the bright side, Nick. The CRM, they're good now, and they're gonna be helping out Madre. They're gonna be like, oh, all life is precious now. We're gonna help people. No.
Yeah, imagine they actually do that, but the CRM spread their numbers so thin, where it's like, oh yeah, their military gets like massacred, and then it's just like. Oh crap, Beal was right. We never should have went this far with helping people. Like, because now, like, we're in trouble. I don't know. I'm kidding, but yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, like with the CRM becoming good at the end of the Ones Who Live, it just confirms to me that that war we were running with the CRM versus that's not happening now.
Well, who knows? I mean, here's the thing, Epic. Here's the thing, Epic. Imagine they time skip like 14 years in the future. Judith is a millennial. And it's like, who knows? Like, maybe that war still happens, but it's off screen. I mean, who knows?
No, but look on the bright side, guys. At least I will admit this right now and not to bring this up again, but let's be honest here for a minute. At least with my Walking Dead Reboot universe, there is an end game in place. And it is going to do what Gimple should have done, in my honest opinion, which was do an Infinity War, like, an Avengers, Infinity War / Endgame, Walking Dead style crossover event, because to be fair, that's something we should have gotten from the bat. And the fact that we're not going to just think about this for a minute, guys, real quick. The fact that we're never ever going to get that now with AMC's Walking Dead universe, that's kind of like a middle finger.
Yeah,
and it kind of hurts a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we have 5 minutes left. Okay. So you guys in the chat, Dan, Josh, everyone else, now that the CRM is good, what is the end game now for this franchise? What is the what was Gimple talking about where he's like, hey, we want to do an end game where all the characters reunite in this epic crossover spinoff. Now that we saw this, what are they going to do for that? Like, if you have to come up with an idea, what would you do? Okay, so will you remaster Extinction Season 3? Probably not, Josh, but who knows? I feel like I'm only going to remaster Season 1 and 2, and then do a 6th season, possibly, if I get enough support. But I could remaster Season 3 if you guys really want me to. Thanks, Walker Dead. Looking forward to, yeah, no worries, Rick. I get you're busy. Whenever you have time for it, definitely. No, Chosen. Long live Scott, long live Heath. They're dead. They're both dead. I might run. Yeah. Which series finale is better? The season finale of The Walking Dead or the series finale with The Ones Who Live? I don't know. I guess this one, just slightly, because it's fresh and Rick got to reunite with his kids. I guess that, but just slightly. But I did love The Walking Dead's main ending. I did love that. Chosen, I don't die. Morgan, die! Die! Okay, enough of that. The ending for this franchise. The group defeats some Walker herd. I don't want Jeanette to be the main ending villain. Oh, she won't be, Jay Knight, because she's in the Daryl show, which means she's gonna die at the hands of Daryl. Like, we know it's happening. Spin-offs and more spin-offs till they make enough money and the franchise dies. Sorry to say, that's all I see at this point. Good predictions, Dan. Yeah, I see that too. But here's the thing, though. Are you going to do a Father Gabriel spinoff? Because like I said, the CRM is good now. They have the most powerful military on the planet now as an ally. What issue could they have? I don't know. I don't see the franchise going to, I do not see this franchise going to be a concrete ending. See, that's the thing, Jay Knight. This franchise, it's over. Yeah. Walker Dead is right. This might be the last of Rick and Michonne we ever get. So, in my opinion, this franchise is over. They're allied with the CRM now. Oh, by the way, guys, Rick statue. We need the Rick statue. I don't know if they're going to do it, but guys, we didn't get the Rick statue. Okay, as long as Rick lives, I'm sticking with this franchise. Can't kill the main character and continue the universe without him around anymore. I agree with that, Rick. I agree. But unfortunately, we have Nagy in New York. Nagy in New York and Daryl in France. No. So we have to see what they do. All right, guys.
Yeah, but here's the thing, bro. I mean, not to cut nobody off here. Here's the thing, Brian. I've brought this up before. Let's be honest here. AMC's Walking Dead universe / franchise, it's over. There's nothing left because, let's be honest here, who's going to watch or who's going to want to watch Nagy in New York City during a season 5? Come on now.
Yeah, I agree. I know. I agree with that.
Like me personally, I'm just hoping that I see Dog again in Daryl season 2. I want more Dog.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm ending the stream right now. So last minute questions.
Hey Brian.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Nick. You first.
Like me personally, it kind of makes me happy that Alexandria is still going on in this universe. Because, to me, that's one of the greatest communities ever made. I love that place.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I was kind of hoping to get gas because like consequences, but I'm okay that it wasn't. And part of me is still glad that it's okay. What about you, Rick? Last minute question before I end the stream.
Yeah, I wanted to ask earlier, how do you feel about Rick's prosthetic? You know, he left it behind, and they did that because they were filming him with the comic one he had, but I guess they cut it. So, how do you feel about that?
Oh right, I saw Rick's comic prosthetic in a picture. Yeah, I'll admit, no, Rick, you should have kept the CRM one. Uh, like the minor issue, but yeah, that was stupid of Rick to do. Because I'm like, yeah, man, dude, Rick, that Assassin's Creed blade, man, that was sick. Like, oh man,
It just helps him grab stuff. And real quick, it just helps him grab stuff. That's why.
yeah, that too. That was a bad idea from Rick. Kind of stupid. Kind of stupido.
Hey Brian, one last thing.
All right, Nick. Last thing.
I've heard some people say that Rick leaving behind his glove or whatever that thing was. Some people say that was like symbolic of Rick leaving the CRM behind.
It was symbolic, but it was still stupid. All right, Walker Dead. Last question before I end the stream.
Yeah, my last minute question for you is that now that to us AMC's Walking Dead TV show universe / franchise is done, well, I guess it's like two questions in one, but like okay, now that AMC's Walking Dead universe / franchise is done, are you done with AMC's Walking Dead universe? And if so, will you move on to other things? Like, for example, Invincible, Fox Cars, My Walking Dead reboot universe. Like, will you move on to the better thing, like, other things like that?
Yes. I've only done a few Fox Guards videos, but I will make that a main thing once the comic starts. Because actually, yeah, my friend's gonna make that into a comic. So when she starts making that to a comic, I will be reviewing that on my channel. And yeah, so I will be doing that. Your reboot series, I will definitely be doing that. Invincible, I'm not sure yet. Maybe. But Extinction is going to take my main priority. And I'm still going to check out what's going on in the Walking Dead universe. I'm not quitting on you guys. I'm not ditching like Maggie always does. I'm not going to ditch you guys forever. But I will say that...
You said you were done.
No, I am done, like, with the spin-offs in terms of, like... Because like this, it looks like this is the end of Rick and Michonne. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm done, obviously. But I'm still gonna work on my series, Extinction, and I'm still gonna talk with you guys every once in a while, like, you know what I mean, reboot series. And I might say like, if they say something like, hey, Gimple confirmed this, I'll just give my opinion on it. You know what I mean? Like, but I would say right now, like, yeah, it looks like the franchise is done in a way. You know what I mean?
So yeah, okay, as well. You'll cover that.
Yeah, I might cover it. We'll see. All right, guys, I got to end the stream right now. Thank you guys so much for coming. Dan, Megamat, J-Knight, Chosen, Wasteland, Josh, DeRosa, Rick, Walker Dead.
Sugar.
Yeah, Shook Earth, him too, man. Thank you guys so much. Because, yeah, man, we went 2 hours. And yeah, seeing the end of Rick's story, this was great. It's a shame though that Mason's gonna kill him off screen, but what? But yeah,
he's not going to do that. He's not.
Let's hope not, because let's be honest here. If they do it, then yeah, it's stupid.
There's no point doing that. I mean, they killed off Sebastian. It's. There's really no point doing it.
Yeah,
but Mason's not. But Mason's not Sebastian. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Hope not. Better not. I'll rant.
It's like, hey Rick, come over here. I want to introduce you to someone. His name's Mason. And then I can see the fans going, no, Rick, run away. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a blessed night. Take care. I will be doing another stream again. Not next week, I will say, probably in a few weeks, but I'm still going to be on Discord. We can still talk and all that. Oh yeah, and I am going to do next stream I do is going to be with Dan and Megamat, talking about this episode and the ones who live. So I am going to be talking with that, co-hosting with them. So yeah, guys, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me for 2 hours. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, guys, talk to you all later. Take care. Bye.
You
Yeah. Sorry, Walker Dead. Yeah, thanks, man. One more question, Brian. Season 5 was over. Will you still do videos and live streams? Yes, Josh. Don't worry. I will still be doing videos and live streams even after Season 5 of Extinction is over. Because, like, remember, you guys have to hype me up to do a Season 6. All right, bye, Josh. Take care, guys. Have a good night.